Right now, the federal government funds 5 separate programs that eligible homeowners over the age of 62 can use to repair, upgrade, and improve their homes. Some of those programs offer grants, funding that for qualifying applicants does not have to be paid back, and a significant number of seniors who may qualify will never see a dollar of it, not because the money isn't there, but because no one at these agencies is going to reach out and tell you it exists. Before you decide this isn't for you, I need to clear up the 2 assumptions that cause people to tune out from programs they may genuinely qualify for. The first, this is only for people who are really struggling financially. The second, this is only for people with large properties and expensive repairs. Both of those assumptions cost people real money every year. Some of these programs have no income test at all. Others have income limits that are higher than most people expect. On every single one, I'll tell you exactly who it's designed to help, so that nobody watching this can honestly say after this video, that one wasn't for me. My name is Ethan Brooks. I have worked directly with families navigating exactly this kind of paperwork. The most painful pattern I have seen in that time isn't people trying to work around the system. It's honest homeowners in their 60s, 70 seconds, and 80 seconds, living with a leaking roof, a failing furnace, or an unsafe bathroom, who either pay out of pocket or go without when there may have been a program available to help them. There's no alarm that tells you you're missing it. There's no late notice. There's just funding that goes unclaimed because the right question was never asked. Today we ask those questions. 5 programs, plain English, exact steps, and I'm saving what I think is the most important one for last, because program 5 isn't just about dollars. For a lot of seniors, it's about something that matters even more. Stay with me. Program number 1. The first program comes from a place most people would never think to look. The United States Department of Agriculture. And if your first thought was, I don't live on a farm, that's exactly the assumption that causes people to miss this one. The USDA doesn't only serve agricultural communities through its Rural Development Division. It serves a wide range of smaller towns and communities, and its definition of eligible areas is often broader than people expect. The Section 500 for Home Repair Program offers grants of up to $10,000 to eligible homeowners age 62 and older. For qualifying applicants, that money does not have to be repaid. The program also offers loans of up to $40,000 at a 1% fixed interest rate for homeowners who need more extensive repairs but don't meet the income threshold for the grant. What kinds of work can this cover? If your roof is leaking and you've been putting it off, this program is designed for situations like that. If your heating system is failing, this may help. If you're concerned about safety in your bathroom and need grab bars, a ramp, or a walk-in shower, accessibility modifications like those are specifically listed as eligible. Improvements. The program gives priority to health and safety hazards, so if something in your home is creating a genuine risk, that tends to move to the front of the review process, who may qualify. The grant threshold is set at 50% of the area median income. The loan threshold is 80%, and here's what most people overlook. Those income limits are calculated county by county. In lower cost of living areas and smaller communities, the qualifying income level can be higher than people in larger cities might expect. Don't count yourself out before you check. Eligibility is determined through the application process, not a quick estimate at the kitchen table. Here's your action step. Go to rd.usda.gov or contact your local USDA Rural Development Office. Ask specifically about the Section 500 for Home Repair Program. The inquiry is free. Staff can walk you through whether your address falls within an eligible area and what the application involves. Now, that first program has a geographic eligibility requirement that will rule some areas out. The second program has no such restriction. It's available in cities, suburbs, and rural communities alike, and it reaches homeowners the first one can't. Program number 2. The second program comes from the Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, and here's what makes it meaningfully different. From a conventional home improvement loan, under this program, you don't need home equity to borrow. The loan is backed by the federal government, which changes the risk calculation for participating lenders. And that means lenders can approve borrowers who wouldn't qualify through a standard bank application, if you've ever been told that your income, your equity, or your debt-to-income ratio doesn't work for a home improvement loan. This program was designed to address exactly that gap. It allows eligible borrowers to access up to $25,000. For improvements to a primary residence through FA-approved lenders at fixed interest rates. What can it be used for? A new HVAC system, roof repairs, bathroom renovations, accessibility modifications, energy efficiency improvements, structural repairs your contractor has been flagging for years. The key eligibility rule is this: the work must be a permanent improvement to the home where you live, not furniture, not freestanding appliances. A lasting physical improvement to the structure. Who does this tend to help most? This program is often most useful for the middle-income homeowner. Someone who has too much income to qualify for the lowest income grant programs, but not enough in savings to fund significant repairs out of pocket. This is designed to fill that space. Here's your action step. Go to HUD.gov and search Title I Property Improvement Loan, or call a HUD-approved housing counselor at 1-800-569-4287. That's a free call. They can walk you through participating lenders in your area and help you understand what improvements qualify. Those first two programs help you address specific repairs. The third one works differently. If you qualify, it can permanently reduce what it costs to live in your home every single month for as long as you own it. It's also the program that energy and housing officials most consistently tell seniors to ask about first, and most people have never heard of it. Program number 3. The third program is called the Weatherization Assistance Program. Here is what makes it unlike anything else on this list. It sends a trained energy auditor to your home at no cost to identify exactly where your home is losing heat in winter and leaking cool air in summer. Then it arranges for a contractor to address those issues, also at no cost to you. That can include insulation in your attic walls and crawl space, sealing drafts and air leaks throughout the home, replacing inefficient heating and cooling equipment in some cases, upgrading thermostats and addressing ventilation issues. According to the U.S. Department of Energy, households that go through this program typically save several $100s a year on energy bills, and those savings continue year after year because the improvements are permanent. Here's why I spend extra time on this one. If you're on a fixed income and your heating bill spikes significantly in January, that's not just uncomfortable. That's a month where something else in your budget doesn't get paid. And for older adults with respiratory conditions, living in a poorly insulated, drafty home isn't just expensive. It's a health concern. The Weatherization Assistance Program was created specifically in recognition of that, who may qualify. The program prioritizes households at or below 200% of the federal poverty level. Households with a member who is 60 or older are specifically identified as a priority population. Income thresholds vary by state. In many states, a single-person household earning up to $30,000 or more annually may qualify. Some states have expanded their own funding to reach households at even higher income levels if you've ever adjusted your thermostat. Not because you were comfortable, but because of the bill, this program is worth a phone call. Here's your action step. Search Weatherization Assistance Program plus your state name at energy.gov or contact your local community action agency. The energy audit is free. The improvements for qualifying households are covered, and the savings are ongoing. Every program I've described so far has a national website where you can look it up. The fourth one doesn't. It's administered entirely at the local level, which is exactly why it's one of the least visible programs available, and for the right homeowner, one of the most valuable. Program number 4. The fourth program works through a different mechanism than anything else on this list. Every year, the federal government allocates funding directly to cities, counties, and states. Through what's called the Community Development Block Grant Program, CDB local governments then decide how to deploy that money within their own communities, and in a significant number of communities across the country, local governments have used a portion of that funding to create senior home repair and rehabilitation programs. What that can look like in practice: your county might offer a deferred or forgivable loan, meaning that if you remain in the home for a set period, the balance may be forgiven entirely. Your city might have a grant program for specific types of repairs, roofing, accessibility, structural work. Your state might administer a broader rehabilitation program covering tens of thousands of dollars in improvements for qualifying homeowners. These programs exist. They are active right now in communities across this country, and the reason so few people access them is straightforward. There is no national registry. There is no central website. Every locality administers its own version differently. The only way to find out what's available where you live is to ask someone whose job it is to know. The seniors who access these programs aren't luckier than you. They're not better connected. They ask the right question to the right office. That's the only difference. Here's your action step. Call your city or county housing department. Ask this specifically: do you administer any senior home repair or rehabilitation programs through CDB funding? And call your local area agency on aging. They maintain working knowledge of what programs are currently available to seniors in your area, including locally funded ones that don't appear in any national database. To find your area agency on aging, call the Elder Care Locator at 1-800-677-1116. That call is free, and it can surface programs that have been available in your community for years without your knowing. Before I get to the last one, I want to say something directly to anyone who's been watching and thinking, none of these really sound like me. Maybe your roof is fine. Maybe your heating bill isn't the problem. Maybe you don't need a loan or a contractor. Don't leave yet, because the fifth program isn't about any of that. It's for the homeowner who simply wants to stay safely in the home they spent decades building, and who doesn't realize there may be help available to make sure they can. That person is exactly who this last one was designed for, program number 5. And this is the one I want you to hear most carefully, because this program isn't really about money. It's about whether you get to stay in the home you've lived in for decades, or whether one preventable morning takes that away from you. I want to be specific about how this one works, because it's different from a single federal program with a uniform application under the Older Americans Act, federal legislation that has been funded continuously since 1965. Area agencies on aging across the country receive funding to support seniors living independently in their homes. In many communities, a portion of that funding is directed toward home modification assistance. What that can include: grab bars in the bathroom, handrails on interior and exterior staircases, a ramp at the entrance to your home, lever-styled or handles for those with limited grip strength, non-slip flooring in kitchens and bathrooms, improved lighting in hallways and stairwells, shower seats and tub-to-shower conversions. Now I want to be clear about the variability here, because honesty serves you better than overpromising. What's available through your local agency depends on where you live, what funding your area has received, and what the current waitlist looks like. Some communities have robust, well-funded programs that can schedule work within weeks. Others have limited capacity or waiting periods. That variability is real, and it matters. But here's what doesn't vary every year. In this country, more than 36 million older adults experience a fall. Falls are the leading cause of injury-related death for adults over 65, and the overwhelming majority of those falls happen at home, in the bathroom, on the stairs, getting in and out of the tub. If you've ever caught yourself on the wall getting out of the shower, if you've hesitated at the top of the stairs in the dark, if there's a spot in your home you've quietly started avoiding because it doesn't feel safe anymore. That is exactly the situation this type of assistance was created for. I've seen families spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on facility-based care for a parent following a fall that might have been prevented with modifications that cost a few $100s. I'm not saying every fall is preventable. I'm saying some are, and the funding to help make those changes may already exist in your community, waiting for someone to ask. Here's your action step. Call the Elder Care Locator at 1-800-677-1116. Tell them you're looking for home modification assistance through your local area agency on aging. Ask what programs are currently available, what the eligibility criteria are, and whether there's a wait list. That call is free. It takes a few minutes, and it's the only way to find out what's actually available where you live right now. Let me describe a situation I've seen versions of more times than I can count. I'll call her Dorothy. I've changed the identifying details to protect her privacy, but the situation is representative of what I see regularly. Dorothy was 74, living alone in a home she had owned for over 30 years. The roof had been leaking for 2 years. She had been managing it with buckets. Her heating bill climbed every winter, because the insulation hadn't been updated in decades, and her bathroom had become something she genuinely worried about, a tub she had to step over. No grab bars anywhere, a floor she had slipped on twice without telling anyone. She hadn't done anything about any of it because she assumed she couldn't afford to, and she didn't. Nowhere to look. When someone finally helped her look, her address fell within an area eligible for the USDA Section 500 program. The roof was repaired. Her home qualified for the Weatherization Assistance Program. The attic was insulated. Drafts were sealed. Her heating costs dropped meaningfully that first winter, and through her local area agency on aging, she was connected with a home modification program that installed grab bars in the bathroom and a handrail on the front steps. 3 programs, 3 separate conversations with 3 separate offices. Her home, the home she had lived in for 30 years, became safer, warmer, and more affordable. Nothing about Dorothy changed. She didn't sell anything. She didn't move. The only thing that changed was that someone finally showed her where to ask. Here is what I want you to do this week. For calls, no cost, no obligation. Call 1 Your local USDA Rural Development Office. Ask about the Section 500 for Home Repair Program and whether your address falls within an eligible area. Call 1-800-569-4287, the HUD Housing Counselor line. Ask about the Title I Property Improvement Loan and Weatherization Assistance in your area. Call 3, your city or county housing department. Ask whether they administer any senior home repair programs through CDB funding. Call 4, the Elder Care Locator at 1-800-677-1116. Ask about home modification assistance and any other senior home repair programs currently available in your zip code for calls free to make, and any one of them could connect you to assistance you didn't know existed. I've put together a free reference sheet. In the description, the 5 programs, the relevant agencies, and the questions to ask when you call. No sign up, no cost. Before I go, one thing that matters: everything in this video is general educational information, not legal, financial, or benefits advice. Program availability, income thresholds, and funding levels vary significantly by state, county, and year, and they change. Always verify your own eligibility directly with the relevant agency before making any decisions, and if this was useful to you, send it to one person you know who is over 65 and owns their home. They may have a repair they've been putting off for years, not knowing that funding may exist for exactly that situation. You could be the reason they finally find out, because here is the truth that ties all 5 of these together. The hardest part isn't filling out the forms, it's knowing those forms exist. Now you do. I'll see you in the next one.